bit of your stream last night. What's the situation that's going on with? Forgive me, I don't remember her name. Lady Alchemy.
Martina.
What's going on? What happened with her? Her money got like seized up or something?
Martina Markota apparently works for she does not apparently. She works for Rebel Media. Okay, she's a conservative spokesperson. She does like news broadcasts for a company called Rebel Media. Rebel Media also hosts a guy named Gavin McInnes, who originally the Proud Boys. And you know that Gavin McInnes has had a lot of trouble for his politics. The Proud Boys were declared a hate group. Okay, so Martina works for the same network that these guys do. It's possible that she is engaged to a guy who knew some of the Proud Boys. This is what I've been able to put together. We've had Martina on the stream. We've asked Martina if she holds white nationalist views. I saw that part last night. Yeah, I know white nationalists. I missed the part of it. Yeah. If you ask a white nationalist, how do you feel about white nationalism? They're going to tell you the truth. Okay, no, white nationalists do not deny how they feel about that. White supremacists do not deny their white supremacist views. They will tell you right to your face in a way that'll make your eyes bug out exactly how they feel about black people or Jews. They'll tell you. Martina said, I don't hold those views. I don't believe in those things. I'm not a white nationalist. I don't think white people are better than black people. Frankly, that's good enough for me. Okay, now I do know for a fact that there are people in this industry who are deliberately lying about other people and trying to destroy their lives and careers by accusing them of holding racist views, white nationalist views, KKK views, all of these things. It's part of what's going on right now in the culture. I am not going to, once you declare yourself my friend, I am not going to betray you based on what SJWs say about you. I refuse to do it. Martina has told me that she is not a racist. I believe that she's not a racist. And for that reason alone, I'm going to stand by her as these SJWs try to attack her and bring us down via her. She is a female comics creator. She deserves our support. She deserves our backing. She deserves respect. And that's what she's going to get from COMICSGATE. We're going to stand by her, even as these people try to persecute her and destroy her life as they've tried to do to mine, Mike's, Doug's, everyone else that we know.
So what does that have to do with her money getting seized?
That is some response to her boyfriend, her fiance, a shared bank account. From what I understand, the bank account got shut down.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not difficult for SJWs to organize, mobilize, and then harass an institution like a bank, a credit card, PayPal, anything like that, and destroy and deplatform your entire life, Mark. This is what we need to stand up against. This is what we need to actually stop. It's awful, Mark. It's a sick world right now. These people are out to destroy your entire livelihood.
No, Mark.
I love Ethan's like parent technique of repeating the name. Mark, it's awful. Mark, Mike, Mike, are you listening, Mike?
Yeah. Well, it needs to be underscored because everyone on this channel, Mark, everyone on this channel
do that to Mike.
gets a hit on their channel at some point.
Yeah, I was going to say, like a drinking game. Whenever Ethan says Mike, we all take a drink.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh no, dude, you would be so wasted. You'd be freaking blown up.
I'm only saying my hippie lefty friends are kicking back on their Twitter streams and their YouTube streams and their Kickstarter campaigns, sitting on an inner tube, going down the river, kicking back without any fear of this happening to them, for saying things like, I think pot should be legal for children. Nothing. I think we should be able to kill children, on the table, in partial birth. Nothing. I think all these guys are Nazis. Nothing will happen to them. These guys say like one little boo, and it's like flag, flag, flag. They shut your channel down. Then later they go and interview you, where you can go and appeal your case and find out that because you're pro-life or whatever, and that's why these people, by the way, called you a racist because you're pro-life. It's just it is not, culture is not fair. It's infuriating. It's crazy. What we have to go through is nuts. What Martina had to go through.
Oh,
nothing to
Martina
do.
drives me nuts. What she's going through right now makes me absolutely crazy, and I'm seeing it happen to my friends. I already went through it. I've already been through it, so I know exactly what all of this is. When it happened to Mike, I recognized it for what it was, and when I'm seeing it happen to Martina, I recognize it for what it is too. I'm passionate about it. I don't want to see people's lives destroyed like this over nothing.
And Ethan, hold on, Nick. They also generate a culture where your grievances are not to be considered. So if one of us comes up and says, "Hey, I got deplatformed," it's like just automatic. You will be ignored. Like, haha, you had this coming. You must have been a little too loud. Yeah. You must have been a little too abrasive.
Was it worth it? Was
it worth it? All that across the board. We have to hear. It's like it's not fair. And so this is why I get so freaky on them, Mark. This is why I get so freaky, is because when people come to me and go, "Hey, you know what? Both sides really need to take it easy." No, you know what? One side needs to take it easy.
Yeah, if I could have a couple seconds here. What's funny is, like, for someone like me over the years, like I was blacklisted from DC like around the year 2000, but it was this quiet thing. And dude, I was like,
why?
I was on jail.
Why was
it was because of the whole gay issue, but it was just I was vocal about my belief in Christianity on the DC message boards, and then because of that, they're like, "Well, what do you think about homosexuality?" And I'm like, "I believe what the Bible teaches." They got all freaking mad. They started a letter writing campaign. Dude, I was on JLA, and my work completely dried up. But it was this, "Oh no, there's no blacklist. Oh no, there's no blacklist. Oh no, there." But I heard from JLA, a DC editor years later that I worked with, who everyone here knows, but I'm not going to name. He's like, "Oh yeah, there's totally a freaking blacklist." He's all, people enjoy putting people on the blacklist, and it's that when it's like all quiet and behind the scenes is one thing. Ethan was legit, straight up given an ultimatum: shut up, or you're not working here anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I can just talk on this for just a second, because I've been digging into this in multiple areas outside of comics, all over the place, and I don't think most people see it coming, and people who are not on the right in this type of industry don't have to deal with it yet, so they don't see it coming. But what's happening to Martina is not new, and you would be dumbfounded with how high this goes. There's this guy named Robert Spencer. He had a Patreon account called Jihad Watch, where he puts on a show called Jihad Watch, where he basically calls out Muslim extremism, right? Like that was the whole theme of his show. The order came down from MasterCard to tell Patreon that if Patreon did not drop Jihad Watch off of their platform, that MasterCard would drop Patreon for payment processing. Like this is coming. This is just a guy with a couple thousand people paying him monthly to do a show about, we're talking about terrorism. Like we're not talking about he's calling every Muslim the most hateful person. I don't know. Maybe he does that too. But the theme of his channel is to watch like actual violence committed in the name of Islam. And that was his whole purpose. He's thrown off of Patreon, not because Patreon wanted to throw him off, but because this came all the way from MasterCard, who threatened to pull the payment processing from a whole platform. Sargon of Akkad, who is not right-wing by any stretch, he said some very choice words, of course, and was thrown off Patreon for violating their terms of service. That's fine. He went to Subscribestar, and within 48 hours, Subscribestar had Stripe and PayPal. Stripe and PayPal, by the way, process 80% of all online credit card transactions in this country between those two. And PayPal does like 64%. Stripe does like 19%. So those two companies hold a literal monopoly on payment processing for online transactions. They told Subscribestar, nope, you're out. Subscribestar had no payment processor until I think they may have scrounged one up from China or something. And even those, they had to modify their system so certain people are not allowed to receive money on Subscribestar, including Sargon. So now you can donate to someone on Subscribestar and get your payment processed, but you can't do it to Sargon. You can't do it to several other creators. They're not allowed. It's coming from, this is coming from MasterCard, one of the biggest companies in the world, talking about, I mean, Sargon has 900,000 subscribers or something, but we're talking about small potatoes in the relative scheme of things. Jihad Watch was much, much smaller than someone like Sargon. Same thing happens to Alex Jones. Because of speech he made somewhere, like they just decide, the payment processors just decide no. Like this is happening to Martina. Yeah, Martina's a face of Rebel Media, but Rebel Media has been around a long time. She gets her bank account, her personal bank account shut down. Like when we're talking about the difference between the right and the left, you have to understand that that we live in fear of not being able to buy groceries because of our political views. And people laugh at that, but I'm telling you, it's coming, because the people who are shutting down bank accounts based on a social media post are the people who run your grocery store's cash register. And it's coming. I can't say it enough. It's coming in the next decade where you're going to have to slap your phone down on a thing and it will scan 30 days of social media posts. And if you have the wrong opinion posted, they will not take your money because MasterCard won't process their payments.
And you just need to invest more in Bitcoin.
Yeah, no, MasterCard owns the patent for turning Bitcoin into fiat currency at the point of sale. If you think Bitcoin is going to be the solution, guess what? MasterCard's team thought of it a decade ago. This is the problem. And trust me, if you think your grocery store is going to process Bitcoin and have their own cybersecurity guy to secure their account, you're delusional. They're going to use MasterCard's system because it's easier, and the guy running it is 70 years old and doesn't want to adopt. I can't stress it enough. We face literal inability to buy food for our opinions, and the left doesn't have this fear. That's why we're talking about this, and that's why we speak passionately on it, is because can you imagine having money and not being able to pay someone to help you? How do you pay your lawyer to sue if your bank won't let you process the payment?
Nikki Rackets, ladies and gentlemen.